Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. 1 second, I'm checking that I'm live and everything. No issues. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay. Hello. All right, lovely. Yeah. I'll just yeah, I'll start streaming, I guess. I'll start streaming. Today we're playing a new kind of chess. Um I've been wanting to play this a while. I've been wanting to look at, variants of chess. Um Not necessarily on this channel, but I can't actually live stream on my own channel at the moment for random reasons. Um, I don't have enough subscribers, so go subscribe, guys. Go subscribe to Checkmate Chicanery if you're watching this video, because then I can live stream on there. Um, but also, I figured a stream might be necessary, a little bit of content, because these days I'm not a very good host of the Talkology podcast. Don't plan enough, don't record enough, but we're doing what we can. I think Robert he's just come back from a trip of his in Japan, and from the sounds of it, he had a great time. But I want to let him relax a little bit um before we start recording again. I'm sure we'll do an episode on about his time in Japan. Um, but yeah, let's play some chess. Let's play some chess. This is Horde Chess, where one side has a bunch of pawns and the other side has the regular setup. Um, I find generally what you want to do as um with the black pieces is trade as many pawns as possible because it opens up some space. And you want to attack on these corners because if you could, basically, this pawn is only protected by one other pawn. But if you can get to the back rank of their setup, then you can just take all of these pawns for free. So it's really quite good. And I find attacking, down the side is generally the most effective way to do things. We're gonna look for this here. They haven't gone for it. It's fine. We will, push down the side. Push this pawn. And seemingly keep their pawns back for a little while. Okay. Generally, it seems to be a good idea to sacrifice pieces for weakening a lot, but I think I'll make a waiting move because I'm not really sure what to do right now, and they seem to be pushing their pawns up, so we kind of have to do something. So we'll sacrifice the bishop. This is really weakening. Basically, the goal is I'm trying to find a way down this file to get to the back rank and snag all these pawns. But it doesn't seem to work because they've just defended it. So we'll look to bring this rook over and do some more sacrifice. We'll castle because then we can bring it more quickly. That's fine. We'll sacrifice for 2 pawns. Oh, that is annoying though, because I've had to bring the rook up for that. But that's fine. We can deal with it. The problem with this is now they're looking at getting a queen, which is terrible news. Can we sacrifice in time to stop this from happening? That's the real question. Yes, kind of, is the answer to that question. Oh, I feel we failed. Is what we've done. Yeah. Okay. Well, we tried. Now we're gonna get brutally checkmated. But you know, at least we can take some pawns on our way out. It was a good try. I don't really know what the meta is for this kind of game. I don't know what the usual sort of strategy is. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out as we go. I don't know why this person is not just going for checkmate. It'd be very, very easy to do that. There we go. And that's checkmate for them, unfortunately. I did what I could. Maybe I need to start attacking down the middle. Let's see if we can do that a little bit more. So, as I said, I'm going to try attack down the middle, so I'm going to go for that way of taking. We're going to do as much as we possibly can to damage the structure of their pawns. We're going to do this so that if the pawn comes down, we can just take it. If this pawn pushes, we can take it as well, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's go for these even trades, kind of. We'll go for a sacrifice and see if that does anything at all. The problem is I do feel like I'm kind of throwing around sacrifices like nothing. So, you know, I'm not getting that much done, it feels like, which is scary. But we're trying, and that's what matters. As you can see now, we're starting to look at some major weaknesses. If we take this pawn, they have to take from here, and that starts to open up squares to their back rank like they've done here. And I think I'm going to ignore this threat, and I'm going to put my bishop. Okay, yeah. So they kind of see what I'm generally trying to do. trying to infiltrate this back rank here. If they take here, then they've opened themselves up. Which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, well, we'll sacrifice again. Let's see if that maybe does anything. If they take, we can just take back, and then we have. Then we're looking straight at this back rank pawn. I mean, it's a terrifying, it's a weird position to play because all of these pawns are very quickly coming in, and there's not much you can do about it. Let's see. Okay, we'll target this pawn then. Let's bring the rook towards the center. And see what happens. See what happens. What can we do here? Well, you can bring the rook to focus on this. They take it. You just win that. That's frustrating. I mean, we can go for the method, the madness of just sacrificing everything to penetrate this defense, but I don't. It's never gonna work. So we can start to bring this pawn forward, and then all of a sudden they'll be running out of good moves. Hopefully, at least that's the logic behind what I'm doing currently. I don't know if it makes any sense at all. We'll have to sacrifice because we're losing all of the space here. That's interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, that does cause a bit of a problem. Bring the rook here, and then to look at these pawns. Oh, that is hanging. Ultimately, we do have to take one of these, so I think I'm going to take this one because it seems to triple the pawns here, and you know, I can't really speak for Horde Chess, but in a normal game that's quite bad because like that, for example, isn't defended. Yeah, that is the problem. But let's activate the king and see if we can start to take some of these pawns here. This is not good. Oh, maybe we do have a path. Ah, now we can start to bring our king back. This does look like an effort that may work. Okay. Come on, guys. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. I like what's happening here. It seems to be better than the last couple games. Not by loads, but better nonetheless. You know, we can try. We can try. Oh, I've left myself right open to that. See, I couldn't take here because, yeah. I'm gonna look at sacrificing the rook for these 2 pawns here. Let's see if that's a thing we can do. Oh, fork. That's bad. But I guess there's some kind of consolation there that this isn't gonna become a queen at any point, because then we can take it. Are we gonna hit some kind of stalemate? I don't know if that exists in. Yeah, I think it does. I'm sure it does. I mean, we can't really get repetition. Because of the nature of this. Right. Okay. Okay, it's all over. That's fine. That's fine. Yep. Yep. That's... Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, if anyone has ever played Horde Chess before in the chat, and maybe would want to drop any hints, that would be that would be great. Could I Google some hints? Maybe I could take a look at. I guess we'll just head into another one, and see what we can do. Hopefully, maybe we'll get the white pieces. Nope. No, not the white pieces. Fine. Okay, I've tried. I'm gonna try this because I've seen in a couple of videos. People like to place their pawns in this area here. I think it's because if they take, the rook can take back, and then it's a weakened kind of area. Let's have a look at this. I think I'm just going to take back because I do win that exchange. So I am simply up a pawn, and if they take now, we have this extra defender on the pawn. I think we're gonna go for this and maybe sacrifice knight. Because in that case, they have a lot weaker of a side. I'm thinking this might be a slightly lower rated player. You can never, or I haven't been able to tell so far from Horde Chess because it's like a variant, and the rating system kind of confuses me, to be honest. I don't quite know how it works. But I do, yeah, I think this is a lower rated player. Maybe closer to someone with my experience, just kind of playing this just the once for a bit of fun. I don't really know what they're doing here. They're really opening themselves up some tricks. I'm gonna sacrifice this bishop. Oh. Well, I'll take this. And then this may force them to open themselves up. I don't believe they're about to promote. I think all we've done is sacrificed a knight there, but that's kind of, I'm okay with that. I mean, this is really bad for them because we've just infiltrated their last rank. You can bring this pawn down. I'll just take it back. I think I'll just focus on taking all these pawns. If they move this down, the queen's right here. This is kind of fine with me. They take back, I take with the queen. I'll just take this pawn, actually. Okay, and they resigned, so, it looks like we did win a game as black. Hopefully we get, a chance to play as white. But I don't know. Yeah, let's go for another game if we get a chance to play with the pawns. That might be fun. It sometimes takes a little while to get set up with a match, but it's no problem. Okay, let's once again. We'll attempt to go for the middle. This person is 1500 with a question mark, so I assume they haven't played this before. Oh, there's nothing going on there. They've taken back. Fine by me. I will continue to take this way, and if they take, I win the exchange. That's great. We're looking at. Could I sacrifice him? I mean, it would make a really insignificant weakness in their structure, so I'm just gonna do that usual method of placing a pawn there. If they continue to bring pawns forward, I will just bring the rook back and place my rook on their back rank, which is, you know, the entire goal of this game mode. They seem to be letting me do this, which is surprising, but I guess if they haven't played this before, then it makes sense. I do feel a little bit bad if I'm maybe playing this against someone who hasn't played before, but you know, it is what it is. I'll just take this one. Then I'll take this one. They bring their pawn down. I'll maybe put the knights. I'll put the knight there. That's attacked, I think. Yeah, that was a bad decision of positioning the knight, but it's fine. They do this. We're out the exchange again. I don't really like knights in this particular game mode because they can be attacked really easily and they're not very versatile. Unless you're sacrificing them, which is perhaps a sign of desperation anyway. But you know, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not using the knights correctly. Who knows? Oh dear. I think this person has lost already. Yeah, they can take the knight actually because I will take back with the queen, and then they do not have enough pawns here. Even if it was just the queen on its own, they don't have enough pawns here to get past. My problem with this variant is I was practicing, or I suppose like I had a look at it earlier, just to see how whether I'd be awful or fine with it. And what I'm quite concerned about is the concept of stalemate. Because if you stop their pieces from becoming queens by simply putting pieces in front of them, then you can really easily accidentally force yourself into a position where stalemate is easily achievable for them. I mean that's cute that they thought they were going to be able to promote that, but that was never happening. let's go for that. I think I will try to leave this pawn on the board because it seems to be like it will always have some kind of move. Okay, well, each piece has a move, so it doesn't look to me like there's a stalemate available here. Okay, they promote, I take, they move their piece, I take, they move their piece, I take. Yeah, that is simply a one game. Lovely. Yeah, see, so if I took this pawn here, no, it wouldn't be stalemate. Okay, never mind. I'm being silly. And that is, yeah, but see, if I move this queen, they wouldn't be able to move it, to push their pawn anymore, so it would be stalemate. Despite me having some sort of clear advantage. But yeah, stalemate is a difficult concept to get around with this new kind of chess variant. But it's, you know, workable. You can do it. Just have to think about it a lot more than when playing a regular chess game. I mean, even sometimes in regular chess games, I have to think a lot more about stalemate. Okay, lovely. We have a game as the white pieces. So we're gonna attack in the middle. If they take at all, we will just take towards the middle. With our middle pawns, we'll take to the other side of the middle, and with non-middle pawns, we'll just do whatever. Take towards the center. Sorry, Alex is actually messaging me at the moment. He's messaged a photo of, well, kind of a photo of Tung 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 Sahor. But it's just the background of the original photo. Oh, Black resigned. Whoops. I guess they foresaw that I was going to win. I guess I was too good at the game. It was our pure Talkology ability, really, that drew them away. You know, this is the kind of content that you could only get on this channel. No, I have no idea. Let's hop into another game. Straight away. Lovely. We'll go straight for the center again, just like last game. We'll take towards the center. We'll just let them take, so we can take towards the center again. And we'll push these pawns forward. Oh, I see what they've done there. And I now see why that other opponent was pushing the pawns forward. See, if we don't push the pawn forward, then they can take here. But if we push the pawn forward, then they can take there. Yeah, so I see what's happened. We will go for a desperate checkmate attack, since we're gonna struggle to win this by simply surviving, considering our back rank has been infiltrated. Right, we need to promote really quickly. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Never mind. I will take the knight. We're gonna push this horde of pawns as fast as we can. I'd love to say I think we're gonna win this, but I'm not particularly hopeful. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, there's no point. We'll resign this game. It was a good game. But unfortunately, they seem to know the precedents of the game a little bit more than me. They're an 1800. I can see. So I imagine maybe they have a little bit more practice with the patterns and the traps. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that one before. I guess we'll keep going with this and go with the policy of taking towards the center. We'll push this so that hopefully we can bring this pawn up and defend this currently very weak light squared pawn. Oh, we should try it though. Right. Now we'll focus on bringing these pawns forward before we do anything else rather rash. Just in the hopes that we'll stabilize the structure a little bit. If the knight comes here, we're fine. If the knight comes here, yeah. We seem to be a pretty secure position at the moment, I'd say. Can't take there. I'll go there, that's fine. Oh, I see what they've done. Lovely. The structure seems to be fine now. If they start to sacrifice, I think we're happy with that because we win a rook. So we'll just, if they do that, we'll take it from there. But it is quite concerning. I fear we've played a little bit too slowly because now the queen is going to come down here and ultimately end up destroying us absolutely. I think I'm playing against... I don't know. I recognize this username. I don't know if maybe they've played against I Want Checkmate a lot. Because that's a YouTube channel that I watch a lot for chess. Yeah, I wonder if that's where I recognize the name from. Push this pawn. Fear that was like a move too late. That idea. Takes. I mean, if we'll do that, and then yeah. Can we cut the queen off again? No, we can't. No problem. We will work on bringing these pawns as far forward as we can, as quickly as possible. Okay. I think that is officially lost. Who knows? We will keep trying. Stay resilient. Fools will resign, as Pietro Checkmate would say. We'll push these pawns. They are quite close to promoting, but I wouldn't be too confident that we're going to be able to. This might take some serious skill. I'm going to push this pawn, because then we can push this, get a check there, and then we have 3 pawns in a row that are very close to promoting. We can look at taking this. Oh, I think we've lost. Yeah. If they take, obviously we can go here, but this doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, because they can simply take back. Rush through the end of this game. Remove some random moves. I don't know what's going on with the pre-move. It works a little bit differently to in regular chess, so I don't particularly like how it feels. Lovely. That's another game done. I mean, we're playing against an 1800. It's a little bit difficult to start getting better at a game like this. So yeah, we'll go for another game. Let's see whether we get white or black. Next time we'll really pay attention to the strategy that our opponent takes. And then we can see if that helps maybe a little bit. This person has a profile picture of Hikaru. Very fun. Look at me flexing my immense knowledge of the chess industry. I know so much, guys. I'm gonna push this pawn and support the rook. Ugh, that's ugly. So annoying when they just take back like that, and you know, close up the position, because it's a really difficult thing to deal with. You could look at this. Is that a senseless sacrifice? They take back, push this pawn. We'll go for it since we have a rook there already. And we can look at... Yeah, no, see, yeah, I didn't think anything was going to come out of that. We'll push this pawn. See if they start to... I'm sure there's stuff we can maybe think about trying. We'll do Desperado. A senseless sacrifice. Perhaps we can look for a kind of break in the structure. No, but once again they pass my pawn. All of a sudden I am completely helpless. God, it's tempting. Sacrifice. Oh, does it work? Will it work? Let's do it. They bring... Right. So we'll look at... Oh, we can't even move this bishop anywhere because our own pawn is in the way. As I don't know, maybe predictable by the opponent. Okay. we're kind of somewhat forced into that sacrifice by the opponent. Very little choice. We could. Let's look at bringing the rook over here. Because as soon as we take this pawn, we are definitely looking at infiltrating their structure. My only concern is all these pawns down here looking at infiltrating immediately. So what we'll do, we'll bring this pawn around. Oh, that was a mistake. They bring this pawn down, bring up. Always locking up this structure is the issue, I'd say. Little easy way to deal with that. I suppose we're just making waiting moves now. Make it look like I'm about to start doing things. One. That's the problem. Whatever I do, they always have time to come up with some sort of counter. Let's look at this. What can I do? Well, if they bring this down, there's always the possibility of that. I think we just make another waiting move with the rook. Yeah, we're cooked. Oh dear. That's fine. Yeah, naturally, queen is a large problem. Oh, greedy. Had to go for 2 queens. Right. We are struggling with this. It's such a difficult task there. Trying to figure out. I'll have to maybe watch some content on this. Or perhaps do some research. Can we actually look over these games? So I did say that I would. Okay, right. I did say I would review what's gone on. So we'll look at. So they push the pawn in the middle. And we just kind of traded. Sandwich this rook in, and all of a sudden they kind of force their pawns into structure like this. And I do, to be fair, I do a lot of sacrificing. Eventually I'm able to get in, but I sacrifice too much for it. Should I have just gone for it here? No, because no, of course not. Then they would have. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Maybe I need to be less open to the trades, actually. Maybe let's have a look at that. See if we can try and match with some less trading. And a lot less sacrifices, actually. That would be... I think the truth is we don't want to bring our pawns up, because then they can just push forward and kind of bring the position to a standstill. I've done this because if they take, we can take back, and if not, we had another option. But I'm not gonna bother explaining it because I would have to get back move to show you. Ideally, we can attack this weak pawn. We can look at this, because then we can bring back there and maybe seek refuge in there. It's not ideal. We could go in there, then if they take, we can open up this side. Oh, just once again, we've got into this kind of position where nothing's going on. Although I think this is not so much of a trade because we can win this back. Okay, not quite. But I think we ended up with a bishop for 2 pawns there, something like that. We'll go for this trade because it massively looks to be opening up the structure a little bit. Take that. We'll take the knight and maybe start bringing it up through here. The great thing about putting the knight here is if it's taken, they end up with this kind of isolated pawn on its own. And their defense is very, very loosey-goosey. So we kind of want to debate them to take that. Or we can take this pawn. Because again, they have the same problem with taking back. Because then I bring the queen here, and all of a sudden, I'm in the back rank. And it doesn't seem like there's anything they can do about that. I think we're just about fast enough to maybe win this game. What do you think, chat? Do we have a hope? Do we have... As long as we aren't oblivious to what's going on here. Okay. Take here, because then we can look down at this to make sure that nothing's going wrong there. We're going to eat away at their center, I think, because I stopped paying attention for a minute. Hi. Mm-hmm. Cool. Lovely. We go for this. We can sacrifice the rook, and then if they bring the pawn down, we back out. Yes. Yes, because there's nothing they can do. Well, we're going to push this pawn so we can move the bishop, and then we can use the rook, maybe. Because I would much rather sacrifice a rook then. Oh, can we not? Oh, well, bring the queen, get up here, and then, yeah. and we seem to be just in time to sort that out. So let's bring up the king. This is a weak pawn, so they have to protect that in some way. If they don't, obviously that's just free. If they do that, we'll take their pawn there. Okay, they haven't protected that pawn, so we'll come in from behind. Now we're attacking both pawns. So if they push this, we'll take. Yeah, again, if they push this, we can just take, and then if they promote, we have nothing to worry about. Lovely. I think could always be mistaken, but seems to me like we have won this game. Lovely. Cool, so I think we will do just one more game. We'll bring this live stream to about an hour. And then we'll end. So let's queue up for another game and see what happens. Just taking a second to join a game, no problem. Hope your day is going well. It's a little bit of an awkward pause between games. As I said earlier in the stream, we hope to bring back recorded episodes soon. Yeah, hopefully we can get Robert on a call to talk about his time in Japan. I feel like that could be an interesting episode. We could have the Japan episode. And who knows? Maybe we'll get some guests in the future. Lovely. We have another 1500 with a question mark, so that's. Hopefully, they're not too good at the game. I'm going to do this because hopefully then we can sort of unlock this position. Ah, yes, and all of a sudden now everything's in the open. And we have... that was a mouse slip. That was a mouse slip. Well, it was good playing. We'll keep going, of course. I mean, we might still be able to win this, actually. I mean, unfortunately, they can just push their pawn past that, but they seem to have chosen not to do that. Okay. Sacrifice. This sacrifice should work, I think, because they can only defend that pawn once. Unfortunately, we still have some pieces down here to look at. Either sacrificing to protect ourselves, or whatever is necessary. Oh, it seems we haven't had to sacrifice to get to the back rank. They've sort of given it up freely. If they push now, we can just take back. Not we can take. Lovely. We went from what I thought was a hopeless game after a meaningless queen sacrifice to actually winning. I mean, it doesn't feel like such an achievement because I believe this player is completely new to the variant, but I guess if chess.com allows the game to happen, then it's fair. You know, that works for me. Lovely. And they resign. So there was, I mean, that was a difficult last game. Probably some of the worst Horde Chess I've ever played. But then again, I hope it was still entertaining for you to watch. And I'll see you in the next installment of the Talkology podcast. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to this channel and to Checkmate Chicanery on YouTube. Also, if you want to play a game of chess against me, you can always add me on chess.com. My username is Checkmate Chicanery, just like on YouTube. Again, thanks for watching, subscribe, like the live stream, and I'll see you in the next installment.